right, and here's the video review for the second in the Unique Toys Orden/Abominus Combiner. It is Alberic, their take on Ripper Snapper. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But yeah, he's a land shark. Candygram. Dominoes. Yeah, he's cool. Walking shark dude, and he is exactly that. You can see he's pretty much just a shark with legs here. And vicious claws, like a T-Rex. You can move his elbows here, shoulders are on kind of limited ball joints. His head does have some posability here, as well as the opening jaw. He's got a couple of little harpoon-like guns up here attached to his fin, and the fin does rotate there, which helps get it out of the way for some transformation bits. He's got his tail back here. He's got clicky ratchets in his legs, and just some stiff ratchets there in the knee joint will become the elbow, and then joints down here in his feet. Although there are, certain poses are harder for him to support, just because here are his hips. He's got so much mass in front of him that it's a little hard for him to support him. If you bring him down too low, he's just going to keep falling forward. So yeah, but there he is, Alberic in alt mode. Here he is, just as a size comparison with Troll, all his weapons. You do also get this fist. I haven't found any way in alt mode to attach this and turn it into some sort of weapon like Troll has with the foot pieces, but it may exist and I just haven't figured it out. He does have a slot here in his hand for a larger weapon for combine mode, but we'll get to his hand later on. It's got one knuckle, it's got two knuckles, ball joints here, and then one hinge in the middle of the hand. Same on the thumb. So you get a pretty decent range of motion out of the combiner hand. I do like the design of it. It looks very cool. It doesn't look, the mass of the hand doesn't look overly bulky. It looks like a nice big armored hand, but it does look very hand-like. That sounds weird saying it, but it's just a neat looking armored hand piece. It's a nice looking hand. Anyway, before I get so flabbergasted that I can't blah 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 blah, I get tongue tied just focusing on one thing. So yeah. Now to transform him, we're actually going to go to hand mode or arm mode first because it's kind of in between alt mode and robot mode here. So we'll go ahead and get the hand out. Now you can leave these attached in arm mode if you wish. Just bring his head up like this, and then you're going to pull this whole top assembly, extend this up like this, so you can see these grooves here. These pieces come up, this tab goes right in here, just like that. There we go, have that all the way. There you go, and you'll hear it click into place. Just like that, you can kind of angle this in, fold these up, however you wish to store them. I had this the other day. There we go, like that. Just fold his arms up. See how I did that. Just kind of get him up out of the way. Unpeg this shark tail from here, which collapses up against his lower body here. Didn't really lock, but you can kind of push it up in there. Open up these and snap the fist in between them. And what's really cool here is this could be it. You could use his hip joints here as his extension, except the legs don't really allow you to move around the crotch piece. But you grab him right here and extend him out, and there's actually a hidden arm joint in here. It uses the robot waist joint as one swivel, and it's actually got a really clicky range of motion there. So you've got a decent amount of articulation, and it even rotates up here as well, so you can get... I open this up right here. Come here, you. This panel right here should come off. I just can't get my finger in between there. Come on. There we go. Just bend that down a little bit. So that flips down, and there's the connector port up here. But so you got a nice clicky arm joint here. Very strong ratchet. I mean, it feels like it's going to support any weapon you give him as well. So you've got all sorts of range of motion in the swivel there, which is really nice. So it's a nice big arm for Orden. And it gives you, like I said, that hidden joint is really kind of neat. I love that that comes out to give it that stiff range of motion and give it a lot more than it lets this whole piece make a very solid forearm without just using the hips as the joint. It's a really neat design there. And then to continue on to robot mode, you just slide that back up into there, and of course remove the hand. The legs come down here and open up these gray panels. Just like that, and then extend the leg. There's a kind of a hinge. This hinge back here in the very back is what does it. This is just the knee hinge up here. So bring that up, and then this tab is going to plug right into the back of this gray piece. And the legs are extended. And same on this side. Flip his feet out. Like that. There's also, he's got the ankle tilts here. And it kind of helps because you can get up under here and push these out. These are some little heel spurs here that will help support him in robot mode. They're tiny. They're not super solid, but they do actually give him just that extra little bit of support in robot mode to keep him from falling backwards, which is kind of nice. They could be a little tighter. And again, this is a test shot. Maybe not the final version, but you can see, even with all this mass on his back, they will, if you push him back too far, they will give a little bit. There are ways to tighten those, but if you flip those down, he does stand very well, even with all the mass on his back. And the arms come down. Leave the feet folded up, open up this, and flip his fist out. Same over here. Ah, come on. I'm really getting tired of figures that have these flip-up fists with no real way of getting them out. You don't need them to be the joints. There is a screw right here. You probably loosen it. They don't need to be quite this tight because when you close these forearm gaps, they will. Let's see if I can use this gun here. They'll hold them in place well enough. I've noticed that on a lot of figures lately have had these really tight wrist joints with no wrist swivel in a position that once this comes down, if it wiggles a little bit, it's not going to be the end of the world because that's going to keep it from going too far. They just are so impossible to get out. So flip that back up, flip that back up. Then here under his shark head is his robot head. And you can just fold his little shark arms up here. Pull these guns off. Just use one of those to get his hand out. Whenever you stand them, I recommend kind of holding them by the bottom legs. Put them flat and then kind of push those support pieces down with your fingers as you stand them. That'll help him stay more secure and not fall backwards. And then these guns can go in his hands as his weapons. I think Vangelis was showing earlier you can kind of have this grip his arm as a shield if you want. It's a little harder with the gun in place, but you can actually take the giant hand and wrap it around his arm as kind of a shield, but I don't think that's any sort of official mode for the hand, unfortunately. Unlike Troll, who had all those, the foot kind of broke apart into several different weapons, the hand in this case is just a hand. And speaking of Troll, real quick, here he is, comparison with his combiner mate, or teammate, I guess is the word I was really looking for. So there's Troll and Albert together in robot mode. They're large. They're just shy of Voyager size. They're bigger than Deluxes. They're smaller than like Voyager Springer. So they're kind of right in that level of height. I don't have anything else to really. I can show you him with like Here they are with Robots in Disguise Legends Bumblebee, to give you an idea, but that's not really a great comparison. And I forgot my measuring stick, my ruler. So yeah, but there they are together, and they look good. They look like teammates. I really like Alberic in robot mode. He almost has kind of a almost heroic look to him, and that's what my brain is saying. I'm trying to think of specific instances, but he's got a very kind of noble robot look to him. He doesn't look evil. He just looks cool. He does tend to have pretty much the entire shark is on his back, which is one drawback. You can kind of angle the hood down over his head if you want, but again, that just you can't get the head. You can fold his back, but it only bends up like that. So you can either have the whole shark head just sticking straight off his back like that if you want a cleaner looking robot mode from the front, or you can leave it up like this. It can tilt forward, but it can only tilt forward that far due to the way it's built. So you can't even bring a shark head down to cover his head and give him a big shark head, which would have been cool. But yeah, so there is Alberic, the next member, the first arm of Orden, aka Ripper Snapper, to their combined Abominus. He's solid. He's good. He's the same quality as Troll. Big chunky figures. I haven't noticed anything on him that makes me go, I don't know about the quality here. Like I said, these could be a little tighter. There are ways to fix that if you have that issue. But even with these flipped up, I found that you can make him stand even without using them. But they do add just that extra little bit of support. Mostly like if you bump him a little bit, he'll fall back. But you have to be trying to. Or, you know, if you start playing with him like this and you're like, oh, I'm going to make him do this, and then try to stand him, he'll lean back a little bit because in the process of doing this, you push those things down. But or push them up, actually. But he does actually support them pretty well. If these were just a little tighter, I don't think I'd have really any major issues with this guy. And even that's relatively minor, all things considered. So there's Alberic Unique Toys. And I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of these guys all hooked together. It looks very impressive.